Hi, welcome to How to D&D. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5e. We're doing a review on Xanathar's Guide to Everything, and I have a guest with me, John Shackle.
Hi.
And John Shackle is going to tell us what he thinks very quickly, first impression of Xanathar's Guide.
I love it. That is my impression. It has everything from the previous books that have come out. They've stuck it all in one little book, and it's really handy. It answers a lot of questions. There's some stuff from the Untitled Chapter if you don't look online. It's all in this book. There's a few things that are missing, in my opinion, but hey, if it's got most of the stuff that I want, hey, you can make adamantium weapons now. Yes. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Tell me, is all the content from the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide included in this book?
Most of it is. As I said, it has classes in here. Pretty much most of the classes made in here. Elemental evil spells are in here, and the section on Unearthed Arcana, which is the question section for the DM, is great.
What about the races from the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide and Volo's Guide?
No, there is no races in this book. That is the only downside. I think they could have maybe have added a few more, but hey, the other books have had races. It's nice to have some new stuff. I mean, it has feats. We haven't had that in the book yet.
What about backgrounds? I understand we had backgrounds in some of the other supplements. Is there any backgrounds?
No backgrounds in this that I've seen so far. But, I mean, we have so many other backgrounds that we can use. So, like I said, it's nice to have stuff that hasn't been covered.
When it comes to spells, what are we looking at? Is it essentially just the stuff that was in the Elemental Evil Companion's Guide?
No, there's actually new spells as well.
About how many do you think would be new?
Ooh, I haven't actually gone through the spells that much, but I have seen there is probably about, I could say 50-50, but I could be wrong on that. But I do know there are some new spells.
What about the Dungeon Master tools? I believe there's a Dungeon Master section.
Yes, it makes it easier for a DM to run their game. It has an expanded encounter table. It has rules on what players could do during their game that wasn't really covered in the DMG.
You're talking about downtime?
Yeah, downtime, sleeping in armor, activities while you're sleeping instead of sleeping. You can do some other random things like that.
What about things like the rules around traps?
Oh, yes, I completely forgot about that. Yes, you can now make traps, and there's also a little section on using tools better, like brewer's tools for using things like thieves' tools, calligraphy set. As I said, it gives you a whole more reason and usefulness for the tools now.
What about there's an indication there's rules in here for crafting magic items?
Yes, and there's also a very tiny common magic item list. They seem pretty mundane, but they're common and they're pretty useful, I think, some of them.
What about, there's a section, I believe, that just consists of a list of names.
Oh, yes, there's a, for the DMs, you can have names for your character, or if the DM needs names for the NPCs or anything like that. So, like I said, this is literally an all-in-one book. It's not perfect, none of the books are ever perfect, but I would say this is one of the best books I've seen so far.
I mean, how thick is this thing? So it's not as thick as some of the books we've seen?
No, but it's about the same as Sword Coast, maybe a little thinner. So, but then half of that book was not really needed, it was just background stuff. And
in terms of its price?
I would say it's a decent price for what we pay for. Different countries have different costs. That would be the best way to say that.
And is there anything else you'd like to add in terms of the content of this book?
If you don't have this book already, get it. It is a lifesaver.
Well, thanks, John. That's excellent. And if you found this helpful or useful, please share, like, and subscribe, and you can see more of John's face on camera. And if you have any questions about Xanathar's Guide to Everything, please don't put them in the comments because I won't be able to answer a single question right now. But maybe later on, in a few weeks, we'll do a full-fledged flip through and reviews on the actual book. And John will help me with that when I'm not currently employed. And till next time, keep rolling those 20s.
Yes.